Hello, everybody. Welcome to this silly little YouTube video I'm doing. This is going to be a mix breakdown of my newest single that just released, Pints of Blood. And if you want to listen to it first or listen to it after you watch this video, it's available on all major streaming services. Links will be somewhere on the screen or in the description or something like that. So let's get into it and look at this mix. I do everything in Ableton Live because it's my favorite and the only one I've learned. I would learn Pro Tools, but I don't have the budget to learn Pro Tools, and I don't have the right computer to learn Mac because I have a Windows computer. Learn Logic. Yeah, that's the program. So I'm kind of stuck with it, but it is my favorite, so no complaints there. And basically how I have this session set up, I'm horrible at keeping my sessions organized. I definitely organized this probably after I made the song, and then I made it pretty, so it would make more sense when I opened it up later. So I have drums up here at the top, all the way down to that yellow line right here. Even though, to be fair, there are two other drums down here, but that's just for the out chorus, so that's just used for a specific section of the song. This is all the main drums. And then right after that, I have vocals from right here. Let's go to that. All the way down to here. So most of the vocals are going to be used for the main section, then I kind of switch it out for some different vocal processing for the final chorus. And then after that, we got the instruments, which there's really only one. There's like two, besides the drums and vocals. Like there's the bass, and then there's guitars, which just come in at the end. But most of the track is just drums, bass, vocals, which is not like me, but it worked. It worked for this track. So I'm gonna start with the bass first. Actually, I was thinking about starting with the drums first, but bass is a little simpler. So how I do bass in this track is pretty unique to how I usually do bass. And this was a really fun time doing all this processing, but let's just listen to it first. And like maybe over here, it's a little more aggressive right here. Yeah, so that's the bass sound I got going. I think it sounds pretty awesome. How I have it set up is I have two heavy channels, which is like the fuzzed out bass in the left and right, and then I have a clean bass straight down the middle. And there's two reasons I do the panning. Obviously, like bass frequencies, you typically want to keep in the middle of like the stereo field or whatever, but Trash, the plugin I'm using for pretty much all my like louder, weirder effects processing stuff, does really weird stuff with like the stereo field sometimes. So I have to kind of like sometimes like adjust for it with panning. And so like as you can see, like this one's 37 and this one's 48, so they're not exactly the same, but that's just because of Trash. But they're a little wider because the fuzz kind of kills lots of the bass frequencies anyways, so it's more of like low mids, and I like that a little bit more spread. And then the clean bass, which sounds like this. Like, very, very chill, pretty much no processing except for like, fake cab, fake amp type deal. That is straight down the middle. And the reason I did it in like 3 sections instead of just having one process sound is so I could kind of do almost like a parallel mix type deal where I'm bringing in and out the amount of like the distorted bass level, and also so I could retain the bass's low end as well. So it's kind of a 2-tiered thing, and it worked out pretty well for this track, I think. So that's the bass. It's pretty cool. Next we'll go to drums, go all the way up here. And the drums look really weird. Like it doesn't, I like from any track I've looked at, it doesn't look like a normal drum setup, and that's mainly because all of the drums I'm using in this track, except for like 2, are from this guy right here. This is the Electron Model Cycles. It is awesome. It's a FM groove box from Electron, and it just has fantastic drum sounds. They're really fun. They're almost silly, but I really like them. And so that's what I used for this whole track. And so I sampled in like 4 or 5 different variations of patterns, and then I just basically just played a big arranging editing game with them. So like the beginning is a couple of those patterns like chopped up. So if we listen to it right here, it's just these 2 guys, and of course it plays somewhere else. Yeah, so I got some nice stereo stuff going on there, bouncing them back and forth. And that's another reason I kind of did it like this, because I have control over like left and right channels, because these are like pairs for each section. So that makes it really fun to mess around with. I could do like slight offsets in one channel, or I could just cut like the left completely for a little bit, or ping pong stuff. And it made it sound a lot more interesting than like what the original version of this track sounded like. The original version of this track sounded like, which was not as good. Very bad. And finally, for the drums, well, not finally, but the other important part of the main section of drums is all this MIDI stuff over here. So basically what this is it's just it's the Cycles drum kit. It's the grooves I recorded in. I just used my push to like slice it. So it's basically just sliced up into little clips. So that way I could input fills and do like extra drum stuff on top of the main grooves without having to reprogram my drum machine every 5 seconds and like re-record and do all sorts of annoying stuff. So like it's just doing like really simple stuff on top of everything. So like if we listen to like this little section, which is the groove. Like that's good. But then if you add like the just little tiny things, like it just makes it more interesting. And that made it, I think it made it move a lot more, had a lot more motion. It was really fun putting all that stuff together. And I just have kind of a different groove for verse, chorus, bridge, and those are really the main 3 I use throughout the whole track. I'm just changing up where they're at, where they're placed, and what those fills are doing. And the only other drums I have, besides that yellow line, which is not actually drums, it's something else, are the final out chorus drums, which are all the way down here in the nether regions of the track. And they are just my favorite kick ever. I love that kick. And then my favorite snare. Which, yes, I know is incredibly aggressive, but that's just how I like my snares. So that's pretty much all the drums. The only other drum-like element would be this, which is a kick drum, but what it's doing is what I call a ghost sidechain. There's probably some like official producer term for it, or there's not, I don't know. But basically what I'm doing is, since I recorded all my drums in audio and didn't do it as separate stems, I used this track as like a sidechain initiator, basically to pump sidechains. And so I'm basically just like mapping out where the kick is going on those audio tracks and just using that track muted to run sidechains instead of the main track, which has all the other crap in it too, like snares and hats and stuff. So I can get a cleaner sidechain, and it just makes the track groove a little bit more. And I think it's a cool technique, especially if you're recording in like a drum machine that doesn't have like a separate kick out. They can just grab the kick. Cool technique, works well for me. You can always just do filtering too, but my kick drum was in a weird place frequency-wise, so I went with this. And I think it worked out pretty cool. All right, next, vocals. Vocals, everybody's favorite. Not my favorite. I hate recording vocals so much, but I did, unfortunately, because people don't care that much about instrumental music. So I have a vocal chain here that I like. Let's see. No, nothing on the first 2 groups. It is very simple, baby level stuff. just saturation, overdrive, trash again, but it's barely doing anything to the vocal. De-essing, compressing, just your basic stuff. A little bit of stereo imaging. The reason it's shaped like this is, again, because of trash screwing with the stereo field. We love that. And then vocal synth, but that's just for the bridge. That is not for everything. So we can hear what these wonderful vocals sound like.
Eyes so shut, can't see what's been done. Push myself deeper.
Yeah, and as you can see, everything is pretty much, the whole song is double tracked, but not like just copy and paste to beef it up. It's like separate takes. So it kind of gives it like an off-kilter feel that I really liked when tracking it, and I definitely did a lot of editing to make it work. And then the other kind of important vocal part is the oohs and ahs, as I call it. And literally same chain, just no trash with reverb.
Even see
So
what's
very simple, just me on the mic just going ooh for way too long, and that's what got all those, and I thought it added more dimension to the track. And then another fun thing I have here is vocal synth. This will probably just come on your right channel. So you got some really cool vocal effects, and this one has some cool ones. Yeah, so I love vocal synth. It's from Isotope. I just got it recently. Added it to the track pretty late, but it's awesome. It does weird robot shit, basically, or like backing vocals, harmonies, you know the deal. But it's cool. It's cool. And I used it on the bridge just to make the bridge more interesting, since I'm saying the same thing over and over again for like what to me feels like an hour, because I've listened to this song like more times than there are days. And then the only other vocals are the out vocals. So same vocal chains. I just was re-recording a bunch of stuff towards the end of the production, and I didn't want to lose my original takes and my original automations and stuff, so I just kind of did it on separate channels.
I'm covered in pints of blood, scarlet clothes.
And I kind of do like the staccato thing on the main vocals, and then like the more like melodic sounding vocal on top of that, which I like. And then I also have this little guy, which is like
Pints of blood, pints of blood, pints of blood, scarlet clothes, covered. Pints of blood,
you know, just doing weird reverb, whisper stuff. I think it adds a good deal to the vocals. I really like it when it's kind of layered. Because you don't really notice it. It sounds like part of the main vocal, but like if I take it out, like here, I don't even know if you'll be able to hear this. Like, to me, that just sounds thinner, like without it. So I really enjoy having that on there. And that's almost the whole damn track. The only other thing is guitars. I'm not a good guitar player, but I can get some cool stuff sometimes. So this is like the guitar starting right before the bridge. And they just build and build and build and build, and they make the ending more epic. I guess that's their one purpose, is to make the ending more cinematic-y. But they sound, I think, great especially with the side chain, like just destroying them. Like, sounds awesome. I'm covered in pints of blood. I think it really adds a lot to it. Like without the guitars, it would just kind of be like another chorus where I'm slightly more excited about blood or whatever. But I think the guitars really help bring it home. But yeah, this is Pints of Blood. I don't know if you care about my mastering chain or not. It's literally just Ozone with some tweaking, and then I had some extra like drum processing on syn buses and stuff. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna go over like every single automation channel and all that stuff. If you have any other like more specific questions about the mix or anything, or if you don't use Ableton so you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say certain things, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, if you want to listen to this full track, it's out on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, Snapchat, everything that DistroKid puts it on, and the links will be somewhere. Either they'll probably be both. They'll probably be down here, and then I'll put a link above my head to my website where you can listen to it. Yeah, thank you very much. If you somehow managed to make it to the end of this video without falling asleep, congratulations. And I'll probably, I might record some more Ableton videos soon. Peace out.